Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Sagittarius July 2020 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, well, first thing up is, Mars will be in Aries, so the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could manifest in putting a lot of energy and vitality into Aries, like sports, such as things that are combative, sports that are combative, like judo, wrestling, boxing, karate. It could also be where the situation with lovers and children may be a little bit more contentious and acrimonious, more so than usual. There may even be physically combative situations. We are talking about Mars being in its dignity in Aries, and another way this could manifest, this could also be about taking a lot of assertive and aggressive action in matters with gambling, speculation, lovers, children. It could be over investments and also trying to attain perhaps greater personal popularity as well. And careful too, because Mars can be about injuries, and if you're involved in any sports, the fifth house is connected with sports and astrology. About really guard against very impulsive, reckless movements. If you're, wear your helmet if you need. If it's a sport where you need to wear your helmet, because there could be greater propensity for injuries to the head and face in sports when you're talking about a transit like this. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Jupiter will be in Capricorn still, so the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could be very fortuitous for perhaps it could be for just doing for some kind of very consistent money making endeavor. It could be something where money might be made through publishing. It could be through some kind of travel profession, something that involves foreign travel, something with higher education. It could also be the enlargement of Capricorn values at this time, or just being very fortunate by through utilizing Capricorn values such as structure and discipline, maybe valuing responsibility, anything planning, premeditation, anything that could be Capricorn related, and also this could be very beneficial for some kind of business venture where you might be making money. I mean, Jupiter, it could be about publishing and advertising as well. And at the same time, it could be about the enlargement of Capricorn possessions. It could be something with dentistry, or things that could be some kind of accounting, or maybe building tools or business items, anything that could be Capricorn related at this time. And also too, it could be religion might be something you might value more at this time. I could say it could be an orthodox religion since it's Capricorn, but of course I'm being somewhat flippant with that. And really, anyway, well, the next thing up is Saturn will be in Capricorn still, so the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Well, at this time you might find yourself taking care of a sickly or debilitated maybe person you value. It could be somebody that figures prominently in your possessions, resources, monetary situation, and it may be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings, maybe making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy at this time. You may also be dealing with certain restrictions and limitations monetarily. There could be some loss to the career that might affect your monetary situation or your self-esteem and self-worth. But it could also, on a positive note, could manifest in giving you more structure and discipline in matters with buying and selling, matters pertaining to your possessions, your income at this time. It could also be about taking responsibility for your self-worth, self-esteem, and how you feel about yourself. You might also find yourself doing something Saturn/Capricorn related in terms of generating income. It could be doing something like with dentistry, or something with accounting, or maybe even doing some with the government or politics or business at this time as well. And guard against, maybe being melancholy or overly negative might impact one's self-worth or self-esteem at this time as well. And it could also be at this time. I mean, remember the second house can be about talents as well. So you might be demonstrating more of a talent, perhaps for mentoring or teaching at this time, or doing something like with business or anything, something with politics or the government, anything that could be Saturn/Capricorn related. So anyway. Well, next thing up, Uranus will be in Taurus still, so the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Well, at this time, well, you might find yourself doing something Uranus related as far as work and employment goes. It could be doing something with astrology or aerospace, something with even rocket science in some cases, innovation, computers, electronics. It could be where you might find yourself, or some kind of esoteric work. You might also find at this time where your daily routine might be a little bit erratic and sporadic, more so than usual, and financial fluctuations at this time might affect perhaps your daily routine, because when you have financial fluctuations, of course, you might be limited in maybe places you can go, stores you could shop at, things of that nature. And also you might be dealing with certain unusual or unorthodox perhaps behavior. It could be from an aunt or an uncle. It could be from pets even. It might even be through someone prominent in your daily routine, a person that's prominent in your work or your health life. You might also, at this time, I mean, Uranus and Taurus could also, I mean, I see this as being about even, could be Taurus friendships, or ones that simply embody Taurian characteristics, ones that could be very stable, loyal, steadfast, and persistent, might figure more prominently in your daily routine, your health life. It could be in your employment at this time. You might find yourself too, I mean, Uranus, I mean, can also be connected. I mean, you're talking about at this time you might be dealing with some unusual, maybe health situations connected with the neck or throat area. Uranus is also connected with electricity and nerves, and I have Uranus almost exactly conjunct my sixth house cusp in my chart, and I have irrevocable nerve damage. So sometimes this could manifest in some kind of nerve damage, or something or some problems. Given it's Uranus, it could be some issues like with the calves or the ankles at this time, or shins as well. So anyway. Well, next thing up, well, Neptune will be in Pisces still, so the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could manifest in a number of ways. This could be a time where if you're digging, your ancestry and roots might be somewhat nebulous or unclear at this time, and also who you are at the core. There may be some confusion as far as that goes. Also, there could be a greater propensity or susceptibility to flooding in the home at this time as well. So be very careful. I think it's a time, if you don't have flooding insurance, maybe this would be the opportune time perhaps to get it at this time as well. And you might find yourself at this time, I mean, sadly, this could also indicate where a family member or someone that lives in your home or someone you feel close to home with might be a little bit maybe somewhat deceptive or duplicitous, or maybe there's something very unclear or vague about this person, or mysterious. But it could also be a time about where you're idealistic regarding that end or latter part of life if you are currently not in it. And it could also be a period too. Sadly, Neptune can be connected with dissolving and dissipation. This could be the dissolving or dissipation of a home or family life, or someone you just simply feel close to home with, or the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. And remember, when you're talking about Neptune in astrology, it could be a point where wherever Neptune is transiting, it's when or where you just don't, where you feel more like daydreaming and fantasizing as opposed to doing. And it might be a period where you feel, and could be very lethargic energy. And it could be a time where you might be more inclined to daydream and fantasize perhaps about matters with your home, whether you're trying to renovate it or do something home related, or maybe get in touch with your ancestry, your roots, or even perhaps express Neptune like traditions at this time. And really, as opposed to actually doing them, and especially if this makes an adverse aspect to your natal Mars, Sun, or your ascendant. And it could also be about expressing Neptune traditions at this time. And it could be something like connected with poetry or dancing or something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology or photography, chemistry, anything that could be Neptune related. Hold on a moment, people. Last but not least, Pluto will be in Capricorn still, so the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, I know a lot of you don't want me to say this, but I'm going to anyway. Sometimes this could manifest in an actual or literal death. It could be somebody that you value strongly or somebody that figures prominently in your possessions, your resources. It could be a person at a place where you make money with, where you generate income with, that you might have a very strong rapport with. You might find yourself doing something Plutonian as far as money-making endeavors go. It could be something connected with the occult, which includes astrology, or doing something with recycling or insurance at this time, or even psychology, something with transformation, which could be sculpting or could be, again, could be recycling as an example. At this time, this could also be about the transformation of one's self-esteem and self-worth at this time, but guard against being overly domineering regarding your possessions, your money at this time, as there could be a tendency to do that at this time more so than usual. And it could also be a period too. Remember that Pluto, Pluto can be about obliteration, destruction, in contrast to Saturn, which is about restriction, limitation. Pluto can sometimes flat out destroy. This could be a time for you where where your possessions, your income, the place where you make money at, those things, your resources might be obliterated and flat out destroyed. But at the same time, remember that Pluto is also about rebirth or regeneration. This could be a time, even if those things do come to an end that I mentioned, that they might come back again. There may be revival of them, but it may come back perhaps in some other form, such as a new job, as an example. And also to keep in mind that the second house is, second house can be about our talents. So you might find yourself at this time maybe becoming cognizant of a talent with the occult, which can include astrology or something with psychology, recycling, insurance, maybe even investigation and digging deep at this time. Well, anyway, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.